Hey guys, welcome back to Theater Advice and First Class AV Systems. I so appreciate you guys watching the channel. Today we're in Prosper, Texas actually. A client called me through a referral of mine that does woodworking. I love referrals and things like that, of course. And you know, sometimes clients have like a challenging space or a smaller room and they can't really, you know, visualize what to do with it. Luckily, I didn't have to start from scratch on this one. Kind of the template was there already, but we really, you know, I think put the finishing touches on it and changed some of the color schemes and things like that when I came in, and I think they're happy with it. Check it out. So in this space, the things that the client was already doing, which I actually really love, they already had a big 85-inch TV, wasn't here when I got here. Some of the challenges were they didn't really know how to get all the wiring, obviously, from back here. So when a builder builds, this room was just blank. There was the wiring, everything was wired local to the bottom of the cabinet. But back here, there was no power pulled forward and all of this stuff, and this cabinet was already here. So they were kind of concerned about, you know, getting power pulled and getting access and things like that. So I kind of told them what space to cut behind the TV, because there's certain holes that you can cut behind the TV, like larger than a 4-inch hole, where you can still get your arm in and manage things like data ports, plugs, stuff like that. So there's a fairly large access port behind this, or hole behind this TV that this is mounting on. These are those acu panels that we actually did in that other room that I actually inlaid lights in. Super sexy panels, they're gorgeous. They actually do something for the acoustics of the room. They've got this kind of foam pad beneath there, which acts as, so the whole panel acts as a big diffuser, basically, is what it does. They actually ran it all the way up and over the ceiling, and they didn't even see my video when they came up with this idea. So it was actually kind of cool coming here and seeing that they were doing something like that. They used some of the leftover panels to make columns on the wall, which again, act as diffusers, so it's really neat. The big change that we made was the client, because of the look of the room and the molding and the colors, they wanted white speakers, which I'm gonna be honest with you, would have looked phenomenal in here. But I kind of threw some other white speakers at them. They were thinking of Bowers & Wilkins and a couple other brands. They hadn't heard of Sonus Faber. I love them. So, you know, I kind of said, well, you know, Sonus Faber makes white speakers too, and they have this fluted design, and they're really, really pretty. And so we started looking at those. And then because of all the woodwork in the room, I think we started trending towards actually matching the top of the woodwork in these acu panels. So these acoustic panels here, and the top of the wood is stained exactly like the Sonus Fabers. And so we got a little wood sample from my shop, and I brought it over here, and we actually held up the wood sample of the Sonus Faber, and that's their Wenge color. These are the Sonetto 3s and the large Sonetto 2 center channel. So, but the colors matched perfectly, or at least close enough where it was just, it gave kind of a warm, inviting feel. It goes against the wall and all the white woodwork and the carpet. It brings a lot of contrast in. So this room was not just about audio quality, it was about blending audio quality and with aesthetics, and it was very important to both the client and I, as I'm fairly aesthetically driven AV designer. So, you know, they finished it off with cool lighting, things like that. I recommended a Rel sub because it's really, really musical. That's the T9X. We went with white just because of the molding, and again, it brings a little contrast into the mix. They don't make a Wenge Rel anyway, so it wouldn't have mattered. But I really love that Rel sub. I talked about it in another video quite a bit. So that's a great sub. We've blended it perfectly. Instead of tearing up the room, we actually went with a wireless kit. And I'll use that segue to kind of open up this cabinet here, because this cabinet's very unique in the way that the clients already built the cabinet before I got involved. And you know, at the end of the day, would I have told them to make the cabinet thicker anyway? Maybe not, because the room is, I think, 11 feet deep. So I probably wouldn't have told them to eat up more of the room anyway. But what we had to do is I said, look, we can still get amps and stuff in here. And my guys side stacked these. They're on little felt pads and things like that. It's not super hot in there, and it's been on for even before I got here today. So it's working really well. We will plug a fan in one of these sides if he calls me and tells me that things are shutting down or things are getting too warm. We've wire managed it the best that we could, coiling everything up and things like that. But you know, with Control 4 control in here and all of that stuff, I mean, the cabinets never even need to be opened. We've got the Rel Airship right there, the super fancy Rel wireless kit that actually works. It allows us to utilize their speak-on cable instead of the LFE to actually really calibrate these that sub musically with the speakers. So you know, most wireless sub kits are just transferring LFE information, so that allows you to do a little more with it. So we put everything on its side in there because the cabinet wasn't deep enough to house the surround sound receiver and the amp, but actually worked really well, and you know, looks great. Fits in there, so it doesn't really matter. We didn't even take up more than one cavity, which we could have, but they wanted the space for storage and stuff like that. Control 4 control, we've got the Sonetto 3s, like I said, so I'll pull a grill off of that guy. You'll see more of that in the B-roll that we probably had just run, so you'll see a little close-up shots of it. But you can see the wood grain, the striations in the wood, you know, all that paneling that they do, and you know, it's the only speaker that looks like it was made in Italy. It really screams, "Hey, I was made in Italy." It's got that leather top that Sonus Faber has been known for forever. Some of the other cool design cues are they've got these shutters, of course, that you can shut and make the room darker, but behind the shutters are actually motorized blackout shades in channels. So the motorized blackout shade comes down behind these channels right here, and then they can close this off, and then you're getting a full dark room, no glare on the set. You know, an 85-inch TV, perfect for the space. It's tilted slightly. They're gonna sit back here on these big, beautiful couches that they already had picked out for the room. One of the things that I am going to change for them, and you know, I kind of said, even though the couch fits in here, I feel like it's shifting the feel of the room towards the wall. And I don't love that. I love for things to be centered, and I think the clients do too. So I told him to have the door flipped to the other side. They had never thought about doing that. But when I got here, he just told me that the people that came said that they couldn't flip the door because if they put it here, the door will hit this portion of the jamb and won't open, which is true. But they also told him they need to tear out this entire door frame right here to accommodate that and redo the door frame. And I'm like, no, they don't. No, they don't. You literally chisel this piece right here, and this is just, I'm gonna make this a whole chapter in this video. This is a door jamb. You literally can chisel this piece off. There's little nails in there. You rip it off. You literally put this here instead so that this depth matches this depth. Take these out, put them over here. Now you have this depth that it needs to open the door, and then you can putty all this stuff and repaint it. You do not need to change this door frame, you just need to change this part. And for any home theater, master bedroom, that kind of thing where you don't want sound leaking in or out for a myriad of reasons, get the one that has rubber on it. Change this door from this hollow door to a solid core door, which is like $100. And now you've got a fully sealed, like an attic, solid door. Go to Home Depot, get yourself what's called a sweep, which is basically like little rubber fingers that hang down from the door. They make them in white. It'll slide on the bottom of the door. You screw it in from the back. You'll feel it and hear it sweep across the carpet, and you've got a sealed attic, attic door basically that will cut 60% of the sound from leaving the room right there. The rest of it, we can get into sound isolation. I probably will in another video. That'll be a deep dive. But this is the first fix I tell anybody to do for sound isolation is seal the door. So, this is how I kind of told him to do it. Hopefully they'll come and see my vision of how easy that is, because it truly is. I've done it a million times with my contractors, and that's it. Drop anything you want in the comments, as long as they're not rude and ridiculous, and I'll see you next time. Hey guys, I just wanted to thank you for listening to whatever I was just rambling about. And of course, if you are in the Dallas area or surrounding areas and you can get here, visit our showrooms in Frisco or South Lake location. And now we can help you anywhere, from anywhere in the country through the world's first mom and pop shop on the internet called fcavsystems.com. We are very excited about this project. We're happy to bring what Theater Advice does here in Texas to everyone. Thanks for watching.